Welcome. I'm Joan McDonald, Director of Religious Education at United First Parish Church in Quincy. Welcome for being here today. I want to have a special welcome to some of the kids that would be in our classroom. It could be Una or Aurelia, Ethan, Micah, Layla, Mesa, Miles, Julia, Francesca, Ben, and Vivian. I think I've got everybody. So I think we'll light our chalice. Last week I told you a little bit about chalice, and this week I'm going to share with you a chalice that I made out of clay. It's not a very good version of one, and it has a crack there. So in the next coming weeks, hopefully I will have a new one to try out. So here is our chalice lighting. We light this chalice for the light of truth. We light this chalice for the warmth of love. We light this chalice for the energy of action. And I hope that over time you will learn the covenant that members of our congregation and friends recite every time they're in church worship together. So this is how our covenant goes. As a free fellowship of this historic church, we unite to lift our hearts and open our minds to a larger reality, to accept, support, and encourage one another, to seek the wisdom in all religions, to cherish and sustain the web of life, and to strive for justice, compassion, and peace. I want to share with you a meditation and thinking about ways that we can do a meditation because maybe you're not ready to do a meditation because you're wiggly and jiggly. And so this is what we're going to do before we start the meditation. And it goes, I wiggle my fingers, I wiggle my toes, and think about your toes wiggling back and forth, wiggling my shoulders, and I'm wiggling my nose. Now there should be no more wiggles left in me, and I can be as still as I can be. So now, with all those wiggles out of the way, let's get into our meditation positions. So think about this and sit comfortably in your chair or on your floor or maybe on the lap of your special adult person. Put your hands in your lap or on your knees. Sit up nice and tall. Close your eyes or maybe focus on an object and find your breathing. So if you breathe in and let the breath move into your body, and then you let the breath out of your body. So you take a breath in through your nose, and then you breathe your breath out through your mouth. And as we begin our meditation, I'm going to ring the chime. So this morning is a Buddhist meditation or prayer. And as you're sitting quietly, you can say to yourself, may I be safe. May I be happy. May I be well. May I live in peace. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be well. May I live in peace. And then think about somebody else that you want to speak to. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be well. May you live in peace. And maybe there's somebody that you've been angry with, and so you want to think about them in particular, because it's important to think about other people. And so maybe you're thinking about somebody you've been mad at. So maybe I was mad at my daughter, Renee. So I'm going to say, may Renee be safe. May Renee be happy. May Renee be well. May Renee live in peace. So think about somebody that maybe you were angry with and you would want to say those words about them. And then, because we want to think about everybody in the whole world, maybe the entire world, you could say, may everyone be safe. May everyone be happy. May everyone be well. May everyone be in peace. So today I want to talk to you about our first principle. And the first principle of our Unitarian Universalist faith is that everyone is important. And I want to share a story with you, and maybe you can see where this principle comes in. So one of my favorite stories are tales from Turkey, and they're about a wise man named Mullah Nasruddin. So the Mullah Nasruddin was invited to a banquet, but before that, during the day, he was working in his garden, tending the vines that his grapes were on. Maybe he was raking the soil and pulling up weeds. So when he finished the day, he was a little bit dirty and dusty and maybe a little smelly, and he might have had a little sweat on his forehead, but he didn't want to be late to the banquet because he thought that would be really rude, because being on time was important. So he dusted his clothes off really quickly and just kind of wiped his face so that there was no dirt on there, and he walked to the party. Well, when he entered the big banquet room, everybody ignored him, including the host who invited him. And the food was being passed around, and he was watching as other people were eating and drinking and having a great time, and he was given nothing. So very quietly, he got up and went back home. And there he quickly washed up again, put on his fanciest coat that had beautiful sparkles, and it was trimmed in gold, and maybe it had some fuzzy fur around it, and it was really magnificent. So when he returned to the banquet, this time everybody greeted him. They said hello, they showed him the best seat, and as food was being passed around, he was given the first taste. And so each plate came and they gave him some first. They poured him some juice and some water, and he was very happy. And as he was eating, he would take some of the food from his plate and put it in his coat and say, "Eat, my fine coat, eat." And as another thing came by, maybe they were offering him some potatoes, and he picked the potatoes up and he put them in his pocket. "Eat, my fine coat, eat." And as he was having some grapes, he would put the grapes in the pocket. "Eat, my fine coat, eat." And everybody was surprised. And they said, "What are you doing, Nasruddin?" And Nasruddin replied, "Well, when I arrived here earlier in my other clothes, No one said hello. No one offered me anything to eat or drink. But when I returned home and came back wearing this fine, beautiful coat, I was immediately given the best seat and the best food. And since all of that attention was being paid to my coat, I thought that it should have some food and drink as well. I wonder, why did everyone ignore Mullah Nasruddin when he came to the banquet the first time? Do you think that it's okay for people to ignore him when he was a little bit dirty or smelly? What would you do if you met someone who looked different than you? How would you feel if somebody ignored you? And what could you do to make someone feel welcome? So those are the questions I would like you to think about and maybe share with your adult, your mom or your dad or the other special adult that you're with. And also, I have a special drawing page. If we go onto here, and let me get to the picture. I have this beautiful picture that was drawn by Kimberly Carlson, and it's a coloring page that's titled Our First Principle, and it's Everyone is Important. And she has drawn some beautiful people's faces, a chalice, and the words say, respect all beings. And that's really about everybody is important. And then on the second page, or on the back of the page, if you have this printed, you could draw a picture about who is important to you. And hopefully you'll share those with me by having your special adult take a picture and send it to me in an email at dre@ufpc.org. And I will share that with parents in an email, and it will be on the website as well. So as we end our time together, we're going to extinguish our chalice. And when we extinguish our chalice, it means that our time together is ending. But even though the flame is gone, the light that it represents never goes out, because we carry the flame within all of us. It shines in me, it shines in you, it shines in all of us. Let your light shine. See you next week, and we will be talking about our second principle.